Hello to you, brothers and sisters of light and dark. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my page. This message is to werewolves, bad shapeshifters, unknown spirits, and metamorphosizing species of this world. Interdimensional beings, aliens, greys, and lizards. You know who I am. Look into my eyes. But of course, this video is going to be about, why I consider guys who can dance very good effeminate. Okay, there's probably no alpha-ness in their bones and their body. They simp the biggest of the bunch. Okay, but of course, it's not just all about good looks. I try to describe people from my perspectives because I know I don't like dancing. I don't see the point in dancing and showing off to people and stuff. I try to dance, but it's not really an effeminate trait. I just think that everybody could come up with their own little dances. But some people are very good at dancing. And when I see women and men dancing, okay, I just feel it's not a trait for what guys should be doing. In Africa, I don't see too many African men dancing, okay, but maybe in those tribal areas where they do dance, I still see that as a feminine trait. Okay, there are men who do dance, okay, and then there are men who don't. I'm one of those guys that don't. Maybe because I'm too old school. I don't get it, okay, because I don't see. I said, "What are you dancing like that for, dog?" I be trying to imitate them and shit, because I'm not gay at all. I just feel that that's an effeminate trait. Sorry, that's just me. Okay, I don't do dancing. I don't do anything that women do, and they're supposed to be doing and gyrating their bodies and stuff and being provocative. It's a feminine trait. I've seen some excellent dancers in the past who can dance, men and women. But overall, I see that as an emotional trait. You have to practice on showing off, okay? Validation is key here. Validation is key when you start to dance. What I teach my daughters all the time. So why are you dancing like that? Why are you moving like that? She don't dance like everybody else though, but she has an innocent type of dance, and it's kind of cute. I met tons of females who know how to dance with that innocent type of dance. That means I know they haven't been out on the streets. But when I see a guy dance, okay, I don't see it in boys. When I see them, when I used to babysit in my past, I don't see them dancing all like that. But every once in a while, I do see some boys dancing because that's a part of their mother. It's a part of their mother. Sometimes I'll see some boys dancing. I'm like, oh, that boy look just like his mother. There you go, right there. So when I see guys dancing, most of the time I believe that they look like their mother and they have the attribute of their mother. So they are not to be trusted. So you was just told by a real alpha that to me, when I see guys dancing, they are very feminine. You got to watch them. As a matter of fact, let me add on some other shit too. If you want to know if you're feminine, if you smoke cigarettes and you drink, you're feminine. You're trying to find escapism, right? Why are you doing that? Why are you smoking? Why are you drinking? Every time I come with some young bucks, I say, well, you need to drink that. That's alcohol and stuff. That's smoking and shit. That's marijuana. That's an effeminate emotional trait. Why you need to smoke marijuana and weed? Why? Because it makes you stressed? Why? How you getting stressed? Who you hanging with? They don't answer those questions because they're feminine. When I lived in the hood in Brooklyn, I tell you right now, when I see those niggas, porch monkeys sitting on, I'll be like, why are you just sitting here that is doing nothing? Absolutely nothing. I was a gamer back in my days, back in the 80s into the 90s. And then I always asked them, I said, why don't black Negroes play games as much as white people do? Because their brains are wired differently. I believe that blacks are far more emotional because let's say you're white and you go up to them and you say, hey, what's up, nigger? And you're white. They'll get real emotional about that shit. I also read the book called, what's that book called? I can't remember the name of it. I'm getting a brain fart right now. Don't make the black man angry, okay? Don't make the Negro angry, okay? Just look it up. Just type it up somewhere. Don't make the black man angry, the black people angry. And it makes a lot of sense because I didn't need to read the whole thing through, but I realized one thing for certain. They are more emotional than white folks, okay? They really are expressive about their emotions and their opinions when it comes down to Black Lives Matter and racism, but they haven't been slaves before. They haven't been slaves before, so they'll try to say some excuse because they're lazy and shit. And I keep telling them, why don't you play any games? Why don't you play any like Final Fantasy? I never saw niggas play games like I do. I play all sorts of genres of games, but most of those niggas usually play basketball. Isn't that some shit? It's just basketball. It's basketball or some kind of football. They never break out of that fucking box. Don't you? Have you ever learned that? If anybody can relate to what I'm saying here, when I talk to a lot of white folks, a lot of crackers and stuff, they usually playing many genres of games. I met a couple of my associates, who are mostly white. Okay, and they be playing multitudes of different games. When I look on internet, I always see more white folks playing more video games in more genres than Negroes do. Okay, because Negroes, they tend to focus on NBA 2K and shit and NFL 2K, and I'm like, why are you just playing sports? Those two. Call of Duty. I don't want to hear that shit, nigga. I don't want to hear that. Have you played anything like Perfect Dark or something? Have you ever played anything like um Dead Souls? Okay, Dark Souls. Okay, no, those niggas don't play those games. Those games are too hard for them. Those games are too hard for them. But I can see a pattern when it comes down to gaming, because I'll be like, damn, when I'm online, I get hit up by more white folks, and they be like, hey, you play this game? Yeah, I'm old school, man. I've been playing ever since the first video game ever came out. But to relate this to all that effeminate movement herky jerky, this is my perspective of it. That's all. It's just my perspective of it. I just feel that when you have to dance and you have to like make your moves sharper, pop your arm a little harder. Okay, no. What are you doing that for? Even when I see Africans dance and their tribal race of people, their ethnic areas, they're feminine to me. They could easily be destroyed. All that movement is not an alpha-like trait. I don't see it. I can't see it. I believe that the more logical you are, okay, and the more alpha you are. But other than that, I do have some feminine traits. I have an artistic ability to draw. Okay, I have a way of swooning women's minds to come to my way with different type of sexual innuendos and certain romances. But that's the things that you have to do. I think that's good to be a little tiny bit romantic, okay, or poetic, okay. But that's not very high. It's a very low quality trait. You could just make up anything like milk and sugar and shit, and women will fall and drop their panties for that shit unless they're attracted to you. That's the catch-22 though. But other than that, when you are doing too many feminine attributes, putting makeup on your face, trying to get Beijing haircuts, okay, see? The Beijing haircut is also like a feminine trait. I'm like, why are you doing that, nigga? You need to look good for them hoes. Okay, why are you getting good for them used cunts? I don't understand that. Why do you do that? Why you go to the bar and drink alcoholism? Just tattoos. Okay, that's an effeminate trait, man. I'm sorry. That's just me. I never had those things. I never did those things. Never did drugs. As a matter of fact, when I tried to do some marijuana, it actually slowed my brain processing down. So I'm like, I already know anybody who does drugs is slow. They're not going to have a great attention span. They're not going to be able to focus on you. And I said, why do you take the drug? Why do you want to slow down? Are you that stressed that you ain't that intelligent enough to find something else to do rather than do drugs? It doesn't make any sense, okay? But to each his own. And what else is there about it? You know how women wear big old earrings? It's the same thing as niggas wearing those big ass chains upon their neck. And I'm like, don't you understand chains represent slavery, motherfucker? Okay, like you wearing gold chains. You ain't nobody special, nigga. You can get killed. Somebody can rob you of that shit. You got guys wearing these chains and thinking that because they're more worth. Yeah, the chain is worth, but you ain't worth shit. Okay, I don't care how much your skills are in the entertainment business. Okay, but anyway, that's all I really want to say about a whole lot of shit what guys do, and that's basically effeminate and shit. And I see it all of the time, man. I see it all of the time. And see, you hanging with a bunch of effeminate tricks. You are hanging with nothing but a bunch of Johns and simps. Got no time for that. I don't hang with that. I don't do that. I don't like to joke around too much, okay? I do have a sense of humor, but not like that, okay? But other than that, that's all I really got to say about guys who like to dance and other things too as well. Peace. Anyone who wishes to agree with me or have your argument about that, contact me, okay? Because I told you I'm the realest alpha on the internet because I got videos. I'm out of here. Peace.